Hey guys, welcome back to Ask TechZG. We've got a lot of questions this week regarding Redmi 10X, OnePlus Z, some camera questions as well. So let's just crack right into it. Will OnePlus compromise when it comes to software support for the OnePlus Z? I don't see any reason why they would. Anyway, they give, 2 years, maybe 3 years software support. I don't see why they would compromise on that phone. We haven't had a mid-range phone from them for a long time, so I guess no one can really say, but there's no reason why they wouldn't support that phone just like the others. It's easy to roll it out to the higher end phones and the mid-range phone. No reason why they shouldn't. Jorge Martinez, is that how you say it? How soon do you think we can expect under-display cameras and 120Hz refresh rates simultaneously in consumer devices? Well, as we know, under-screen cameras are starting to be mass-produced right now, and they should be going into phones maybe next year. Those under-screen camera phones that were maybe trying to be scheduled for the end of this year may be pushed back into next year. So under-screen cameras being produced now, end of this year, start of next year. There has been some rumors that some new phones with the Snapdragon 875, so that's next year's chipset, are being developed with under-screen cameras. So that's coming soon. 120Hz on top of that. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to add high refresh rates onto those. Apparently the companies that are working on these phones are BBK, basically, the BBK group, which are putting high refresh rates in all of their upper end phones. If it had a Snapdragon 875, it would be an upper end phone. So no reason why they couldn't add both of those in those phones. So maybe the start of next year we can see that. What I've heard is that those initial under-screen camera phones aren't going to be the really high-end flagships that they have as their real top phones, mainly because the under-screen cameras apparently are still not perfect in the way that they image through the glass, and so they have to still work that out. And that's a problem that maybe people buying the flagship phones don't really want to deal with, like a not very good selfie camera. So it might be put in some maybe special phone, or like a version of the flagship that does have this camera but has the caveat that it has a bezel-less display, but the camera isn't quite as good as the other phones. So yeah, a long answer, but start of next year. Best performance phone for $300 to $400. So I think you're going to have to look for a flagship SoC, flagship chipset. That's just going to give you the best performance. And then you just look for the cheapest flagship phone. Probably not going to get any Snapdragon 865 phones for that quite yet. Maybe if you wait another few months, maybe towards the end of the year, those early flagship phones may come down in price. If not, then just look for a Snapdragon 855 Plus. That's going to give you the most power, the most bang for your buck. There's a load of phones, like the Realme X2 Pro, the OnePlus 7T, the Oppo Reno Ace. Even the Ace 2 may fit into that budget. It's not released outside of China yet, so your market's going to be different. But yeah, best bang for your buck is going to be a slightly older flagship. Before we get on to the next question, thank you for all of the channel sponsors. I see all of you guys in there. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We are a group of 6 now, so thank you very much for all of your support. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, go and subscribe. The join button is there if you want to support. By no means have to, but thank you. A big up to all of the supporters. Thanks, guys. It means a lot. Hey, Rayan, you asked, what's your favorite compact phone of 2020 in the mid-range category? Am I gonna get shot down in the comments if I say the iPhone SE? As a compact phone, truly compact phone, it's powerful and compact. I hate those bezels. I really hate those bezels, but it's a powerful and compact phone. In the Android world, wow, there really aren't too many compact phones anymore. But I would say the Realme X50 Pro is actually surprisingly compact and small for an Android flagship. It's on the smaller side, one of the smaller Android flagships that I've reviewed, and it's not that expensive. It's already getting some discounts. I'm not sure if it fits in the price category, but yeah, those two I would say. Why is Xiaomi downgrading the 108 megapixel HMX from the CC9 Pro? That's known as the Mi Note 10 outside of China. Into the new phone. So yeah, there's rumors about a CC10. Do you have any news on the Mi 10s and 10s Pro? Will they have Full HD 120 or Quad HD 120. When it comes to the XS and the XS Pro, they'll be getting Full HD resolution, 120Hz refresh rates, according to the leaks. That's been said a couple of times, so don't expect Quad HD in those. Why are they downgrading that 108 megapixel image sensor? That will be because of price and just new sensors. So the HMX is an expensive sensor. It's big and expensive. And for a mid-range phone, if they use just a slightly cheaper image sensor, it means they have more money to spend on other things like the chipset. So there's always a trade-off. You know, maybe the images out of it will actually be better overall because they have can afford a better SoC in the phone. So yeah, CC10 or Mi Note 11, whatever it's going to be called, coming pretty soon. There's going to be a lot of hype around it. I'm really interested to see how that one comes. What are your thoughts on the upcoming OnePlus TWS, and will it have noise cancelling and wireless charging? I'm not sure about wireless charging. The earbuds will obviously charge in the case. I'm not sure if the case has wireless charging or whether it will be USB-C. It depends. If OnePlus want to cut corners with the price, then they'll include USB-C. If they want to add the charging and up the price a bit, we'll have to wait and see on that. Will it have active noise cancellation? I heard that it will, so we'll have to see. The Oppo Enco wireless buds do have ANC, and obviously the technology's there with BBK, so I've heard that it will have them, yes. Really looking forward to them. I did a video about them the other day. They'll be called the OnePlus Pods, according to leaks, which I think is a pretty good name. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them. Why are the cell phone companies like Realme and Xiaomi going down from 32 megapixels to 16 megapixels? Okay, so some of their phones may, but I know before used 32 megapixel selfie cameras on Xiaomi phones, and they're actually going down to less or fewer pixels. Pixels is only one part of imaging. It just takes care of resolution, but there's a lot more to imaging than just resolution. With selfie cameras, with smartphone cameras, and with image processing, 12 megapixels, it is kind of enough. The high megapixel image sensors do have high resolution, and so there is an advantage to that, but maybe with a lower pixel count and a better sensor, you can get more dynamic range out of the image, more natural colors, and so the selfie may actually look better overall, even though it's not technically sharper. So yeah, just one part of imaging is pixels. Not the be all and end all, a good thing to have on some occasions, but there are other things as well. Is sensor camera size and aperture related? And can we see smartphones with a 1-inch sensor? You can change one without changing the other. So aperture is to do with the lens and the lens elements. Essentially how big the hole is that lets light into the camera sensor. The aperture can change in DSLR cameras. The expensive lenses can change the aperture. So if you have a really big, wide aperture, it lets a lot of light into the camera sensor. If you have a tiny aperture, obviously no light gets in there. You can close it off, or very, very small, a small amount of light gets in. That will change things. It will change the exposure of the image. It will also change the depth of field, so how separated your subject is from the background. Sensor size plays a part as well in depth of field. Are they related? They're not. You can change one without the other. They're not really related in a sense, but they do both have an effect on image quality and a lot of other things to do with images. So not exactly related. 1-inch sensors in smartphones. I think we already had one. I think there was like a Panasonic or some phone, maybe you'll let me know in the comments, that did have a 1-inch sensor. It was more like a camera with Android. But yeah, it can happen. Maybe we're getting there. I think maybe Samsung or Huawei might do it in the future. But it's a big sensor for a smartphone, but yeah, it could happen, and sensor sizes are getting bigger, so maybe wait a few years. Ask TechZG, your thoughts on the PS5. I absolutely love that thing. It looks amazing, and it's going to be a very capable machine. And yeah, if you're into gaming, I mean, you get the PS5. It's brilliant. New boy rule, hey brother, which camera are you using for your video, and tell me the editing app. This camera now is a Canon EOS M50, EOS M50, yeah, so it has a flip out screen. That's the reason why I got it. I also use an iPhone for video most of the time. If I'm shooting video, then it will be an iPhone. I just think the iPhone is just capable for video. It never lets me down. It focuses well. It has good colors, good dynamic range. EOS M50 for inside shots. That is it though for all the questions this week in Ask TechZG. Thank you for submitting them. We'll do another next week. I hope it was valuable for you. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.